But make no mistake, if any object presents a threat to the safety and security of the American people, I will take it down.
President Biden speaking for the first time today about the aerial object shot down by the U.S. military. Let's bring in our guest live at 10:45. Bishop Garrison, former senior advisor to the Secretary of Defense and current fellow at the National Security Institute at George Mason. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about what the president had to say today, because there's been so much speculation as to what these objects have been, why they're there. Did he answer the questions that most people had today?
I think for the most part, I understand this is an ongoing process. He and his team are doing the best they can to understand what exactly it is that we're dealing with. They have an interagency team that is focused exactly on collecting more data, on understanding the situation a bit more, and he's trying to provide as much transparency as he can to American people while we're doing this in real time.
So we know the first object out there, at least the first one that we were made aware of, was that now infamous Chinese spy balloon, which they are still analyzing, trying to figure out what information it gleaned, how it did it. There are these other objects out there, and you have some critics of the president who are saying now the U.S. is being too trigger happy when it comes to shooting these objects down.
Well, I would say that first and foremost, his main the main factor that he's concerned about is the safety of the American people. And again, these are unidentified objects. So understanding that some may be used for commercial use, they may be under research and development priorities. We don't understand, we don't know. But we know that once they adjusted the radar, they're seeing more of these objects. And they want to make sure that our airspaces are safe, that the American people are protected, and they're going to engage them. And the president was very clear on that fact today.
You know, it's funny because for decades now, this whole concept of UFOs has spurred this entire skepticism that maybe we're not being told everything that's out there. So I know there are a lot of people that are approaching what the government says with a fair amount of skepticism. Then again, we're talking with somebody who has been there before, who has been there in the room where a lot of these conversations have been had over the years. So as we move ahead from this, what is your advice to people who have been watching this? What should they know about the decisions that go into these determinations, whether you shoot these objects down, you observe them? What do you do from here?
Well, first, I think we all just need to take a breath. We need to understand that there's a very strict balance that needs to be hit here between national security priorities and maintaining safety and trust. It really is about the trust between society and the government. And I think the president and his team are going to do everything they can to strike that correct balance and make sure that people are safe while providing them as much information as they reasonably can to ensure that they maintain that trust and support as well.
Bishop Garrison, hey, we appreciate the perspective on this one tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.